What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all had a good day today. Looks like the market was on one pretty wild. We're back, I guess they made, barely made new all time highs, I believe. Yeah. And there was just no pullback. I'm a little bit disappointed with myself because I got home this morning and I saw them tapping this here. And I was like, oh, this is a good spot to get in long. But I had to go to bed, and I don't like to just leave trades open and running. Again, I don't mind trades open and running if the market's not going to close before I'm able to come back and look at my trade. Because if my profit target doesn't get hit, they'll liquidate my account. So, or if my stop loss doesn't get hit, if the trade's not closed before the market close. So, I didn't take any trades. I just went to bed. I should share with you guys slightly good news. Or I say slightly because, everything's kind of in the air right now, but I'm going to start deleting things because none of the levels I was watching for yesterday played out today. Again, I saw stuff live I would have taken, but nothing that I talked about yesterday. So I'm going to delete all these levels. Anyway, update on the doggo situation. Basically, spoke with the lawyer. I have to say, you guys are absolute studs because people donated enough money that I had to come out of pocket a little bit myself, but it was manageable, right? Which is just incredible. So I don't know how else to say this other than to just say it. I am super, super appreciative. I don't have words to express how grateful I am, but just extremely grateful. You guys took a huge weight off my shoulders, relieved me of a lot of stress, and made things manageable. And I'm really, really grateful. So I retained a lawyer today. He basically told me that what I did, standing behind the guy's car is legally wrong, but what I did is morally wrong. And he's pretty, what's the word? Pretty confident that we'll get it thrown out, basically. He thinks that, pretty much anybody that's reasonable would understand my actions and why I did what I did. So that's that. Again, huge, huge, huge thank you to everybody. I will also add that I'm going to be repaying everybody that donated in the best way that I know how. And so for all of you, as soon as I have a day off, I'm going to make a private group with just those people. And I think there might be one or two other people that actually didn't donate, but reached out and was like, hey, one person in particular, and they'll probably know exactly who they are. They were like, how soon do you need the money? And I was like, well, my court date's next week and I'm talking to the attorney tomorrow, so I need it pretty quick. And they were like, oh, things are pretty tight right now. I can't help right now. And I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm not trying to put anybody out kind of thing. And I think I'm going to add that person to the group as well, just because their intentions were there. They're a good person. They're always, in my DMs talking to me. And I would like to help them out as well. Just because they're not financially able to help me doesn't mean shit to me. The fact that their intentions were there and they want to is more important. With that said, let's just get into this chart. Again, huge thank you, everybody. I really just don't know what else to say. Thank you, Gigi. Where's the low? 84. Okay. Oh, and I should add, I took that. So frustrating. I got in short here last night. Oh no, not there. I deleted it, right? What the hell? I got in short here last night, I think. None of this makes sense. Oh, I guess I got in short here. Um, my stop loss was like 313, I want to say. And so all night long, I'm watching this, and like we finally started making a downtrend, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then they came back up and retested the previous day value area high, and I'm like, okay, cool. From there, we should, do the 80% rule down. No, news came in, and we just ran from there, and they stopped me out. Rat bastards. Again, I'm not, it's not a big deal. We're always going to take L's, right? You just have to roll with the punches kind of thing. And I don't know. It just like, it bugs me when everything looks like it's going the right direction. Like we've started, a downtrend and things are going the direction I expected them to go. And then they're like, nope, sorry, news. But even more important, like I hate that I was in the play like literally all night long, just for it to kick me out. This is insanity that we just keep making new all-time highs. Let me see here. Yeah, we're still. Really, don't be surprised if we go to 635. Pretty sure that's what they're doing. Oh, I didn't look at our volume for the day. I mean, the volume's good. It's above like the 9-day average, but it's less than yesterday, which isn't surprising. We're at all-time highs. Things start getting sketchy up here. Let's look at fear and greed really quick. I would guess that we're in like extreme greed at this point. I'm going to pull this up to show you that I didn't check before I said that, but yeah. So we have ticked over into extreme greed, and this is where market makers like to fake out retail when we get into these areas. So we'll see what happens. Let's check our news. Tomorrow. Wait, today's Thursday, right? Right? Am I losing my mind? It's kind of weird sometimes working nights. Like you start mixing up your days. Evangelos, if you want to, yes. Because I still might incur other costs, but I'm probably going to have to take another trip back out to Reno. So, absolutely, if you want to. So basically, the only thing we have tomorrow is something with like a medium impact, expected impact, 30 minutes after the market opens. Other than that, there's just really no news tomorrow. It might be a slower day. It might be a choppy day. Yeah, Davis, it's crazy, but we'll see. I guess what's reassuring is like always, every time hearing like other law enforcement officers or hearing like the attorney's reaction to me being arrested, is always wild. And then a lot of people, their first question is like, did the other guy get arrested? And I'm like, no. And they're like, what? Like, I could see if both of you got arrested, but just you? Like, that doesn't make any sense. What's up, Black Rose? I also realized today I have a video on my phone where you actually hear the impact of him hitting my leg, and then you hear the window shatter. So I guess like I pulled out my phone just in time to record, and you hear the car go thud, and then you hear the window just and then a lot of cussing. Alrighty. I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of what we're doing tomorrow. What is this? Oh, this I need to delete. Like, doesn't make sense. We have a poor high at the top. At least I think it's a poor high. Yeah, poor high. Anyway, I'm going to say it one more time because I'm just so relieved right now, and I am just so grateful for you guys and your support. And I know it also shows, like, you guys know what kind of a person I am. The fact that you're willing to support me, which is important to me, you know, like, there's so many fake people on the internet, and I try to be, you know, as revealed as and honest as I possibly can with you guys. And I appreciate that the message is coming across. Forever. No, I'm not doing a live trading session tonight. I'm going to work. All right, let's look at futures really quick. Yeah, we're pushing higher already. That's really what I was expecting. The I don't like that they're doing this right now, but I'm not surprised that we're doing it right now. So what I'm going to show you guys, I have no way of doing this as far as giving you targets, right? Right now, we're in market discovery. I mean, other than looking at, you know, like our bull flag that we have, right? Right now, it looks like we are breaking out of it, and they might be targeting 635. Could happen tomorrow. Could also not happen tomorrow. I don't know. But what I will say is, for us tomorrow trading, what you want to see is, and again, this is all just going to be fictitious because I don't have levels. Let's just say we get a bounce from here and we go to 630, right? Come back, retest. You want to basically target 630 to close your trade. Again, I have no way of telling you what that level is going to be, but before you go to trade tomorrow, look at pre-market, look how high they went, look left. If they come back down and retest this area, grab calls, right? And you're basically going to target the equal high unless they have a strong high, which I don't really have an example of right now. Here, I guess, would be an example. So like this is a strong high. And you see the next time price came here, right here, we didn't quite go all the way up to the top, right? So in that instance, you're never trying to target like the top. You want to close before we get to that strong high. So when you look at pre-market, and if you see like a strong high like that, don't try to target the equal high. If they give you the equal high, grab puts. Okay. Hopefully this is making sense to everybody. If they give us a poor low, Again, I'm trying to look for an example. So this is an example here of a poor low where we have two candles together, two or more. The next time price came to there, they sliced through it and went lower. So if tomorrow on SPY, pre-market, they make like a poor high, you can target that equal level to close your trade. Okay. So again, on a retest here, watch for calls. This is assuming we open above this level, which I think they're going to. And again, I would not be terribly surprised. I don't know. I don't think tomorrow, but I won't be terribly surprised when we hit this. Okay. Actually, let's just do this right. I'm going to put the date because I always forget when I draw things like this where I'm making a prediction as far as where they're going. But so I'm pretty sure this is where what the market is targeting. I don't think they'll do it tomorrow. This is a pretty big move. We would have to, I mean, it's possible, but we would have to have a pretty significant trend day to make this happen, which they could do tomorrow, but I would say it wouldn't be a terrible idea if we retest this to swing over the weekend. But also, it's not the best idea. We're at all-time highs. You know, there's always a chance that from here we reverse and go lower. So it's kind of sketchy. Yeah. So in this scenario, unfortunately, tomorrow's going to be a day that's just way easier to do live. Right now, I have to kind of guess. If I knew where they were opening, it would make things a lot easier. If they give us this for whatever reason, then we would be interested in puts, right? And then I doubt this will happen, but we've got to be ready for everything. Down here, I would be looking to grab calls if for whatever reason we gap down overnight. All right. Pretty quick video. Oh, tomorrow's monthly option expirations. That makes sense. Hey, what's up, Nora? Apex is tomorrow? The monthly options expiration. I mean, that's definitely a thing, right? That's going to create some volatility. I still think they're trying to push this higher, but we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be way easier to trade live. Hopefully, over the whatever years you guys have been with me, or maybe it's like a year. I'm not sure. I think I've been doing these daily SPY updates for roughly a year now. Hey, what's up, George? So hopefully I've passed on enough information and enough education to you guys that you know what to watch for live. I feel like some days it's fairly easy for me to give you guys levels. Tomorrow's going to be tricky because we have the monthly expirations. We're at new all-time highs. There's just a lot going on where this is a level where either retail decides, and it's retail. This is going to be retail's decision. If we push this higher or if we're going to be closing our trades here and reversing lower. George, I'm not trading live tomorrow. I have work tonight. I wish I could trade live with you guys tomorrow, because I feel like it's going to be an easy day to trade, but you're going to need... Why are you guys asking about live? I don't understand. But like, you're going to have to figure out what they're trying to do on the fly tomorrow, if that makes sense. A lot is possible. I would say for newer, less experienced people, tomorrow's probably a day that you don't want to trade, because it's going to be a wild day. There's, like I said, if retail decides they want higher, we push this higher. If people stop being greedy and start closing their positions, this is going to reverse and go lower, right? I still am pretty confident that 635 is in the books. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how things play out. I should be, let me check my schedule really quick, but I should be live Monday, like always, on Keenan's. My daughter's first birthday is on Saturday. Damn, this week's pretty crappy, or next week, I should say. Next week I'll probably be trading live like Monday for people in Keenan's. For the people that donated, we'll probably trade live Tuesday and Wednesday morning as well. I'm trying to figure out like the best way to do this. Maybe everybody that donated, send me a DM please on Discord. That way I can get all of you into a private group where we can trade live together on the daily when I do trade. I don't want to say every day because I don't trade every day. But the days that I do trade, every day that I do trade, I'll be sending out a Zoom link to you guys and we'll trade together. That's the best way I know how to say thank you. And of course, when we trade, there's always going to be education happening, and all of that other good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and post these levels in Keenan. So now if you guys have questions, now would be the time. Oh, I might have time to chart. Just do ES really quick. I didn't bother looking at my my other charts, my cluster chart. But yeah. Nora, that's a loaded question because basically, if you haven't been around the last couple of days, had an incident where there was a dog locked in a car. I broke the window, got arrested. Today I had to hire an attorney, and so I just asked for donations. People donated, and all of those people that donated, I'm going to add to a group where they can watch me trade live whenever I trade. So there wasn't a specific dollar amount. Oh, what am I doing? That's not what I wanted. Let me chart ES really quickly. I will say I like huge weight off my shoulders that I have a lawyer. He also seems like my kind of people, which is even better. I think I found the right person. So that's good. If you want it, you're going to have to ask because I will probably forget, but I happen to remember right at the last moment. Um, so we are able to do it really quickly. The thing with this is, as long as I have time, I'm happy to do it, right? I have to chart ES for my own trading, so it's going to happen eventually. The only issue is time, right? But if there's time to do it, I'm happy to get it done sooner rather than later. So sometimes if you ask, I might have to say no just because I am a very busy person and I'm not always like, I don't always have time. But if I have time, yeah, I'm more than happy to chart ES. I should say I'm also excited because the little group that we're going to form should be fun for us all to trade together. Um, should be able to have a pretty good time. It's always nice to hang out with cool, like-minded people, you know? All right, so that's it. I'm not going to put any. I'm not really worried about our, like our buy stuff, high volume nodes. There's going to be one here somewhere, right? We're going to have one down in this range here. If I was, short for whatever reason, if we break back through here and retest, I would be closing here. We're also going to have like a high volume node up here somewhere. But again, with where price is trading, I'm not really worried about this stuff too much. I really think they're going to push this. So levels down here are going to be less important. But again, we have to see what they do. But pretty sure they're going to want to push this higher. I wish they'd already made the move up and this is the retest because I would get in long right now. But I can't risk, putting in a trade. I don't trade price discovery. So anytime we're at all-time highs, if it looks like price is going higher, I don't trade. I'm always going to be waiting for the, price to move up, give me a retest, and then at least I have levels above to target to exit my trades. Hi, Rockets. What's up, Triple G? Triple G. So, I mean, what I was saying is, I asked for donations to help with lawyer fees for this whole thing I'm going through. Quite a few people donated and actually like really helped me out. And for those people, I'm going to be putting all of them into a group where whenever I trade live, I'm going to give them a link in a Zoom link and trade live with them every day that I trade. That's my way of saying thank you. So that's what it is. Black Rose, if you still want to donate, you can just send me a DM and I'll give you the information. Or if you want, this is my email, which is also in the description of my YouTube channel. Excuse me. You can Zelle there or use that same email address for PayPal as well. But if you want Venmo, then you can DM me and I can give you my Venmo information. Anyway. I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now, but like I don't want to get too off topic. I'm not trying to make this about like donations every day, but that's what it's been all week. And so this is going to be the last time I talk on it. The people that did pull through and donate like came in hard and raised a pretty significant chunk of money. And for that, I'm just eternally grateful. Again, I was extremely stressed out. I don't feel like I did, I'm not going to incriminate myself, but I feel like for the most part, I did everything correctly. I think there's one thing I should have done differently, but it is what it is. But ultimately, the car window getting broken, I feel like was self-defense. And I don't know, it's just a pretty crazy position to be in. Like, as you know, I consider myself like a good, honest, law-abiding citizen, right? And to get arrested and be stuck. When I say this, I don't want it to come across wrong, because I actually met some good people like when I was in jail, but to get arrested and be around like a bunch of criminals is crazy. Like, when you haven't done anything wrong, right? There was, what's insane to me, and maybe this speaks volumes about Reno PD, I don't know, but the night I got released with two people where, if they're telling the truth, they didn't do anything wrong. So like one guy, he's temporarily not allowed to own firearms, and they saw a gun case in his truck. And because of the gun case, they had SWAT show up and everything, storm his house, take him into custody, and then it turns out the gun case is empty. So there's nothing legally saying that he can't have empty gun cases, right? And the fact that it's empty would say that he probably, when he was told he's not allowed to have guns, he transported the gun somewhere and gave it to somebody. And so now he doesn't have a gun, right? He's got an empty case. So that's pretty crazy. And then the other guy that was released at the same time as me, and I think this also kind of just speaks to my character as well, but I guess his girlfriend is like bipolar or schizophrenic. I forget which one he told me. And she freaked out on him and bit him on the arm, and he had like a huge scar where she bit him. And then at one point, I guess she had his finger in her mouth, like biting down on his finger. And so he just grabbed her mouth and or grabbed her face or something, and was trying to get his finger out of her mouth because she was about to bite the thing off. And he called 911, and he ended up getting arrested for being attacked by her. And I felt so bad for that guy, because he trusted somebody. Basically, he doesn't have any friends or family in Reno. And so he had the money to get bailed out. This guy works for Tesla. He had the money to get bailed out, but he had nobody to go and post his bail for him. So he ended up trusting some guy that was in jail with him to have his wife, basically to release his property to this guy's wife. Because I guess he had money or a card that she could use with money on it to post bail for him. And so basically he told him, hey, have your girl, come and pick up my property. From there, post my bail with this money. And then from there, I can go and grab more money and I'll post bail for you. That was the agreement. Like, bail him out, and then he can go and get more money, and then bail him, the guy out that was helping him. Well, so the guy had his wife come get the guy's property, and instead of bailing him out, she bailed her husband out, and then took, with his property being released to her, she took his cell phone, his wallet, his credit cards, like everything, driver's license. They released us at 11:30 at night and literally like kicked us out onto the street. They're supposed to give you like bus passes. They didn't give us bus passes. I didn't really care because I wasn't going to take a bus anyway. I was going to take an Uber. But this poor guy has literally nothing, and they didn't give him a bus pass. And as they're like, he kept saying, "Hey, I need a bus pass. I need a bus pass. I need a bus pass." And as they're shooing him out the door, he's like, "I need a bus pass." And they were like, "You need to get off the property or we're going to trespass you." And like, it was just insane. So obviously he's like, we're in the middle of nowhere. They put jails out in the middle of nowhere. We're in the middle of nowhere, and this guy has no wallet, no cards, no phone, nothing. Like literally nothing. Just the clothes on his back. And my first priority was to call my wife, and just let her know I was out. I'm okay. I can go pick up our son tomorrow. Not to worry. And then as soon as I got off the phone with her, I went and found him. I didn't have to do this, of course, but I went and found him, and I'm like, "Hey, like, are you good?" And he was like, "Dude, I don't know what to do. Like, I have nothing." I said, "Okay, where are you going?" He goes, "To Reno." I said, "Okay, don't worry about it. Like, I've already ordered an Uber. When they get here, hop in with me. We'll go into Reno. They're going to take me to my car. As soon as we get my car, I'll take you wherever you need to go." And he was like, "Oh, damn, bro. Thank you so much." So I actually gave this guy, like a ride in my Uber. We got to my car. We got in my car. And then I dropped him off at his friend's house. But yeah, like he was pretty high and dry, without a paddle. So pretty crazy that they do stuff like that. But so now, yeah, he not only has to defend himself, but he also needs to prosecute the person that screwed him over and stole his money and whatever else, which is just craziness. Anyway, not trying to make this too long, but again, just huge thank you to everybody. I can't even express like how much of a relief it is to have legal representation and feeling like that weight is lifted off my shoulder, where I think if I went there by myself, even though I acted like in good faith and think I did everything, pretty morally good, I still think I probably would have ended up, getting some kind of guilty on something. Judges have a tendency to do that. Like they'll be like, "Oh, like we're going to drop everything, but we're going to leave this on your record that says it happened." And it's like, why are you dropping everything and leaving it on my record? I've had that happen to me before where, long story short, I got a ticket when I was like 19 for making an illegal U-turn. And I was so frustrated because the police officer pulls me over. And I think like my son had just been born, right? So like my oldest son had just been born. And so like my adrenaline was like really high. I just became a new father. And when like you have like a exciting life event like that, like you're not really thinking clearly, whatever. And I went to go and get food for me and my wife while she was in the hospital. And anyway, I'm driving down the street and I need to make a U-turn to go back to the hospital. I had already got the food. So I pull up to a light, I look around, I don't see any sign that says no U-turn, whatever, flip a bitch. Next thing I know, lights go on. And it seems like, actually I know now, but in the moment it seemed like this officer was literally camping there waiting for people to make U-turns, because I think a lot of people make U-turns there. And he did acknowledge that in court. He was like, "I do this all day long. I pull people over there, write them tickets for U-turns, whatever, blah, 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 blah." And what was crazy was I was like, I told the officer, I was like, "Dude, like, I'm not from this area. I'm not familiar with this area. I looked all over. I didn't see anything that said no U-turn, and also like my adrenaline's like pumping. We just had a baby. It's my first child. I might be looking at the world a little bit differently. I'm just running to get food for me and my wife. She's in the hospital, whatever, blah, 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 blah." Dude writes me a ticket for a legal U-turn. And I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, the fuck? Like, no warning, nothing?" Anyway, I was adamant that there was no sign there. So I literally make a U-turn right after, he's like, "Here's your ticket, whatever, blah, blah, blah." I flip a bitch, go back to that intersection, and there is a sign. It just happens to be behind a pole, right? So I don't know, right in front of you when you're stopped at that light, there's an island, and there was like a little pole that, I don't know, it's probably like about this high, and there's a sign on that that says no U-turn, but in front of it there's like a light pole, or the pole for the street lights. So you can't even see it unless you're like, oh shit, like, does that say no U-turn? Like, you would literally have to like turn your head way, one side or the other to see enough of the sign to be like, oh, that says no U-turn. But you could not clearly see the sign. So I took a picture of it. And again, long story short, go to court to fight it. And the fucking judge is like, oh yeah, like, and even the officer, he showed up and he was like, hey, like, he doesn't deserve the ticket, like, it turns out that the sign that's there is obstructed and you can't see it. And I didn't even have to defend myself, but I was like, yeah, officer, I took a picture and I have it. And he's like, no, it's fine. He's saying it's obstructed. You can't see it, whatever. He was like, we're going to throw the ticket out, but we're going to leave it on your record. The fuck? I wish I was older. I was like 19. So I was just like, okay, sir. Like, I was just like, whatever, I'm not a lawyer. I was nervous. I was just like, I just want to get out of here. I'm grateful that I don't have to spend money when I just had a baby, on some BS. So that's what I'm afraid will happen now. And of course, with a lawyer, he'll never let that happen. So I always have that encounter in the back of my mind where even the officer shows up and was like, hey, like, my bad. Sign's obstructed. You can't see it. He didn't deserve the ticket. And the judge is like, okay, cool, we'll dismiss it, but we're going to leave it on your record. So, like, I still had the points on my driving license and whatever. Like, my insurance went up. Like, it was insane for doing nothing. Anyway, story time's over. I got to go get ready for work. But just know, extremely grateful for all of you guys. Literally just lifted like a huge, huge, huge weight off of my shoulders. And I'm just like extremely appreciative. I don't know what else to say. To everybody in the DMs that donated, I'll be putting together a group this weekend, and we will, I'm going to put you guys into like a little private group where it's just us and we'll trade live together. All right. Yeah, definitely lawyer up in Reno. I never want to go back to that city. It's insane. Seems pretty corrupt. But after I beat this case, I'll be suing Reno PD. That's my next objective in life. So with that said, as always, much love, much respect to everybody. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Good luck trading tomorrow. Like I said, if you're a newer trader, might be a good day to skip. Be careful out there. It's going to be pretty wild tomorrow, I think. It's going to be pretty volatile. And I think they're probably going to try to push this higher. But again, you've got to see what they give you tomorrow. Don't go into tomorrow with any kind of bias. Take a breath and see what's actually happening. Okay. Trade the way that I taught you guys. Wait for retests. And you guys should know what to do. That said, much love, much respect. Peace out, everybody. Bye.